Hey, what is up, my yogi friends? Episode, I don't know, Yoga Strength TV. Shooting this one from the GoPro, driving down the road today. So, question we have today is from Yvonne. It's a little hard to come up. She didn't. Anyways, the question I got from what she wrote was basically this: Kyle, what if I'm intimidated and have some fear and possibly some limiting beliefs around how I look, how I'm going to be able to, or for the lack thereof, be able to perform some of the poses that are in yoga? You know, what about this? We'll just call it fear and hesitation, self-doubt, right? Well, the best way I can answer that particular question is through my own experience, through my own story. Without having a very long story with it. Basically, growing up in high school, I really didn't have a lot of self-confidence. I guess I carried it that way. I seemed to hold myself with self-confidence and a lot of self-worth, if you will, but I really didn't. I mean, deep down inside, I really didn't like how I looked. I didn't like how I felt. I was a little just overweight, probably between 40 and 60 pounds, depending on the week or the day or whatever. And I'm tall, I'm 6'4", so I could carry that extra weight well, but I didn't like it. You know, I wanted to be lean. I wanted to kind of have that six-pack. I wanted to run faster, but I couldn't. I was just, my hips were tight. It was just a whole long mess. So I really didn't feel, you know, I didn't have a lot of self-confidence in high school. And that's why I started working out. That's why I began my journey really in health and fitness began in the gym when I was 18. I walked into the gym and I was intimidated as hell. All these big guys, you know, a lot of in shape women, from, you know, younger women in their 20s at the time, you know, to older women who were doing bodybuilding. Like, it was intimidating. I was like, holy shit. But my intention and my mindset was, I'm just gonna go. I want to look like that guy. I had books. I read health, nutrition, how to work out, all kinds of stuff, and I just kept going. And I really didn't, looking back on it, I did not let the fear of how I looked or how I felt about myself stop me. And so how does this relate to yoga? Well, then yoga really didn't come into my life. I didn't start practicing yoga consistently until about 4 years ago, back in 2011. And it was a very, very similar experience to me as to the fact that I didn't want to, I was scared. Like, I knew, like, especially yoga. Here I am, this, you know, at the time I was fairly in much better shape, did have more self-confidence in myself, but still I'm walking into a room that I imagine is going to be filled with 25 other spandex laden, bikini top wearing sexy women who are just going to be able to, you know, bend backwards and do all this crazy stuff. And so there is a factor of intimidation. The other reason why I began yoga was out of curiosity. I always had an inclination to it. I always wanted to know more about it and really experience it. And then I really just wanted to get in better shape too. I wanted to see what, I just wanted to experience yoga and see what it would do, because I had understood to that point what some good things were. So ultimately, Yvonne, and anybody, if you have self-doubts, if you carry those, the one thing I want to acknowledge to you is this. I want to offer you this. It's okay. It's okay. You're allowed to feel that. You're allowed to experience that. I've experienced those. I'll probably experience those more. There's things in life I haven't experienced yet. One day, maybe I'll become a father. I think, you know, that's something I'd like to entertain the idea of. And so I'm sure I'll question myself at times of, man, I wonder if I'm doing this right. I wonder if I'm, you know, showing up the best that I can be. There's going to be business decisions. I wonder if I'm doing this right. Maybe I'm not going to do this the best way. The point is to consistently show up, to consistently, whatever that consistency is for you. It doesn't have to be Bikram yogi style every single day. Otherwise, you're not an official yogi if you don't practice yoga every day. It doesn't have to be bodybuilding style. Any of that. Show up 5 days a week, be a Nazi on your nutrition, just consistency. Whatever works well for you while consistently pushing that edge of yours. You're not sitting in your comfort zone, but you're not in physical pain, and you're not in like emotional pain where you're so outside of your comfort zone that you're going to bounce back and just stay further engulfed into your old paradigm of a comfort zone. So consistency is key, my friends. Consistency. Just keep showing up. And I'm speaking for all yogis out there, whether you've been practicing for 20 years, whether you've been practicing for 2 days, your first practice, you're a yoga teacher. I think all of us, every yoga person I've talked to and really gotten to know, like on a deep, good friendship level, we've all gone through some really, really deep experiences of self-doubt, disbelief, lack of confidence. And I think maybe that's what drives us more, to share our knowledge. I don't know, but I do know the yoga friends who I have, teachers and students both combined, we've gone through some more than others, but some pretty good, deep, big shit, like we've gone through it, come out. And some of us still carry that. So I think it's okay to have that. Learn from it. Use it as an opportunity to help yourself grow, to help yourself move forward. And that's it. It's okay. Push yourself outside of your comfort zone far enough to where you're going to grow, to where you're going to find that new level of self-confidence to you, where you're going to find and you're going to push past the level of discomfort, or whatever it may be that you're at. I'm out. You guys rock. See ya.